From his comic book days to the big screen, the Joker has been an alluring character that's kept fans of the Gotham universe begging for more. From his ever-changing backstory to varying looks and interpretations, this villainous clown has never once been predictable. Today, I want to explore the evolution of this character and the standout representations of the Joker that have shaped our understanding of this unique character. The Joker had his first appearance in the first Batman comic, titled Batman #1. This comic was released in 1940, authored by Bob Kane, Jerry Robinson, and Bill Finger. In his earlier appearances, the Joker was introduced as a criminal mastermind with psychopathic traits. With his stable green hair and chalky white skin, the Joker stands out like a sore thumb, and this is just how he wants it to be. Since his conception, the Joker craves chaos and thrives on unpredictability to challenge Batman. Initially, the Joker was sadistic and dark in nature, but he adapted to become known as a prankster around the 1950s. Unlike most typical comic book characters, there's no solid origin story for the Joker, and his real name or even identity is completely unknown. Each representation of this character speculates, and in other cases creates, an origin for the Joker in the universe of the film. This is only the tip of a very large iceberg when it comes to the differing representations of the Joker in comic books and other forms of storytelling. But in this video, I want to focus specifically on actors who have taken on this character. In live-action cinema, the role of the Joker has been portrayed by 6 actors. Although the Joker had been briefly represented in some of the Batman serials in the 1940s, it wasn't until Cesar Romero's portrayal of the sadistic clown in the 1960s Batman TV series that the character began its journey onto the big screen. Romero highlighted the goofiness and pure insanity of the Joker and took a campy approach to the portrayal. Romero emphasizes the Joker's love of pranks and tricks to keep his peers on their toes, a much lighter take on the character than its successors. Even with the iconic Joker laugh, Romero uses a high-pitched, exaggerated laugh to mark this character, adding to the gesture-like tone. This depiction leaves out much of the darker undertones that the character begins to attribute over time, but it still consistently displays the Joker's attraction to chaos. Acting opposite Adam West's Batman, Romero's loud, theatrical take, despite not being the most realistic or intimidating, fits perfectly into the tongue-in-cheek atmosphere to the entire series. Next to tackle the role was Jack Nicholson in Tim Burton's Batman in 1989. It's widely believed that Nicholson's portrayal of the Joker changed the way this character was interpreted for audiences. Tapping into the darker side, Nicholson's Joker has a much stronger craving for anarchy than Romero's Joker, with a much more ruthless and taunting spin on the once prankster, goofy Joker. Nicholson garnered academic recognition for this portrayal. He was nominated for a Golden Globe and a BAFTA award for his role in the film. Interestingly too, Nicholson's Joker is also portrayed without any makeup in the film, and Nicholson sports prosthetics to create the maimed face and Joker's permanent, creepy grin. This take on the character provided a darker, more sadistic, and psychopathic take, which set the stage for the modern interpretations that followed. Almost 2 decades later, the role of the Joker was passed on to Heath Ledger, with his portrayal in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight. Displaying the Joker's nature as a criminal mastermind and an absolute agent of chaos, Heath Ledger masters everything about this character, down to his unique mannerisms. In this film, the clown prince of crime is presented in a much more gritty way, with his messy, smudged makeup to the dirt still lingering under his fingernails. Heath Ledger's portrayal of the Joker is considered to be one of the most iconic performances, and he received a posthumous Oscar award for Best Supporting Actor in 2009 for his performance. This take on the character inspired further thought into the Joker's intentions as a criminal, and the message he's trying to convey about societal inequalities. Interestingly, The Dark Knight expertly juxtaposes Batman's somewhat more optimistic outlook on humanity with the Joker's nihilistic view on the world. The Joker in The Dark Knight was a stepping stone for the later portrayals of the character too, and the more mature look into his personality. The next feature for the Joker exists in the modern DC universe, with Jared Leto's work in Suicide Squad in 2016. This stylized spin on the Joker painted the iconic clown out to be a gangster kingpin, sparking mixed receptions to this new outlook on the character. Despite its original idea, Leto's portrayal is often criticized for its odd tone and very unclear choices that are made for the character. Unlike some of the other portrayals, Leto's Joker appears in Suicide Squad for less than 20 minutes total screen time, leading to a shallow representation for this character. The visual aesthetic was also drastically altered for this take, with the Joker having multiple face tattoos, bright green hair, and modern clothing and chains to accessorize. This version of the iconic character definitely pushed the boundaries of what audiences could expect, but also brought up questions of whether this is a fitting portrayal of the Joker. Last but not least, the most recent feature takes place in Todd Phillips' 2019 film. This was the first film to focus primarily on the backstory of the character and to not include Batman in his usual superhero presentation. Rather, Batman is introduced as Bruce Wayne, a young boy that meets the Joker before the beginning of the rivalry. The film follows the story of Arthur Fleck, the man who begins to spiral into insanity and violence, becoming the infamous Clown Prince of Crime. Arthur Fleck slowly transitions from depression and helplessness to what seems to be psychosis and an alter ego that fulfills his revenge fantasies on those that have wronged him throughout the course of the film. This portrayal of the Joker is heavily based in realism and also connects the Joker's origins to current societal issues that affect an individual's mental health, including poverty, access to sufficient mental health supports, and unresolved childhood trauma. As its own standalone film, this depiction of the iconic character serves to give some reasonable theories into the potential origin stories for the Joker's life of crime and chaos, while simultaneously providing social commentary on the barriers and risk factors for worsening mental health issues in particular individuals. All in all, the role of the Joker is a complicated one to take on, but it's one that lives on as an iconic character that can stand for a multitude of motives, societal inequities, and even underrepresented members of society, like the mentally ill or the underprivileged. Depending on the choices of the actor and their director, the underlying meanings behind this character can be powerful and also spark broader social discussions.